All right, so guys, welcome to the AMA. This AMA, it's basically Ask Me Anything. So I'm Viaano. I'm the founder of Hardover, which is the Discord server that you're on right now, and also the Hardover app, which is a social app where you can share your mental health experiences anonymously. It's currently on the iOS for now, but we are working very hard to get it on the Android. So a lot of people have been asking questions over the past week where we have compiled questions that some of you want to be answered, and I'll get to that. But before that, I just got a list of winners that have won the art contest that we did, the Pen You Art, where you guys made a lot of drawings and designs. It was fantastic. It's lovely, and actually, you know what? Like all the designs that you guys made is actually hanging right there on the wall, on the wall over there. And actually, I'll show you guys. Hang on. So like your designs are actually made into a mosaic, and all your designs are inside the menu. So it's really really cool. But I'll show the picture to you guys like in a few days, like a clearer picture. But before then, I'm just gonna announce the winners of the contest that the team has picked out. So coming in first place is Anna. Anna will receive a nitro. And coming in second place, the second and third place will receive a nitro as well, but nitro classic. And in second place is Edda. And third place is Joey Fox. Coming in fourth and fifth place, you guys will receive prizes as well, but I'll DM you guys what prizes they are. So coming in fourth is Mila. And coming in fifth is Hiso, which basically said the mosaic is awesome. Thanks, man. It looks really good. And yeah, so those are the winners, and I'll put it in the announcements again who has won. Thanks for participating, and thanks for contributing to this amazing World Mental Health Day 2023 mosaic picture that we are hanging on the wall there. It's beautiful. All right, so without further ado, let's get to the questions. So there are a lot of questions that people ask in the channel regarding this AMA. So I'll just start off with the first one. And you guys can ask questions in the chat as well. I'll get to it after I get to the questions that were asked. So the first question was by Mojo. So Mojo asked if Viaano, which is me, if I had worked in a psychology or a mental health field, like as a psychiatrist or something. So, I mean, to answer this question, yes, I have. Mental health is my passion. So I have worked in a lot of fields related to mental health, not only in the country that I was born in, which is Singapore, but also in other countries like Australia, where I was studying in. And I've worked with, I was a social science student, and I've been in the mental health space for like 7, 8 years. So I've been in the space for quite a while. And I've done internships and have worked in, state hospitals and also private organizations, voluntary welfare organizations, nonprofits. And so it's all over. Like I've done a lot of mental health work as a social sciences student. And, this internships has taught me a lot because I work with psychiatrists, I work with psychologists, I work with counselors, with social workers, and all this multidisciplinary team. And I've learned a lot from each of them. And that has helped me so much in starting Hardover, the Discord server, the app, and everything. So it's just me basically very into my passion. And that's why I took all those experience and really made it something special, like my own, which is basically Hardoverse. So Hardoverse is basically an extension of all my experiences and an extension of myself. So the next question was by Jevon XZ. So Jevin asked this question, which is the question that a lot of people have been asking me. Like, if you look at my DMs and you look at the spam requests and DM requests, it's like hundreds of DMs that I get, and majority of it is asking when is Android app going to come out. So that's basically what Jevin asked. He asked, when will the Android app come out? And look, I'm not going to put a timestamp. There's no definite timestamp on Android. And trust me, I would love to say that the Android app is going to come out this year, but I don't want to give false promises. What I would say is the Android app will be out early next year in 2024. So that's where we're looking at. The next question is by Kiso. Kiso asks, what is the ETA on the next Hardover app update? There's only 2 months left in 2023. So I'll say before the end of the year. Yeah, that's what we are looking at for the next like sort of significant or major update. The next question is by Dr. Glucose. Oh, his name is really long, but basically Dr. Glucose asks, would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games, or unlimited games but no games? I don't know, the question is really weird. I'm guessing what Dr. Glucose meant is, would I rather have unlimited bacon but no games, or unlimited games but no bacon? I think that's what he meant. I would say unlimited games but no bacon. Oh, that's not what you meant? Right, I saw that you're in the chat. So what was your question? You meant what you said. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games, or unlimited games but no games? That's games but you can't play them. Ah, okay, I got it. Wow. But if I have games but I can't play them, then what do I do? You mean like Twitch? Like it's oh my god! Like this is a mind twister, right? So, but anyways, I would just take the games. Like I'm not like. Oh, okay, that's a good idea by Blue. Unlimited bacon, and because of that you can feed the poor. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I'm not a big fan of bacon. I like bacon, but I don't go crazy with it. So I would still choose games. If it came to between um, games and bacon, yeah, I'll choose games. But okay, let's go to the next question. Next question is by Seth. Will there always be a Discord and an app? Or are you trying to move everything over across to the new app? Let me answer this. There will always be a Discord. Hardover's will always be on Discord, but it's structured in a more community setting. It's more about news, events, announcements, and people having a chat like Huddle Lounge, which I think it's amazing. But we also have to understand that Discord and Hardoverse are two completely different entities made for two completely different reasons, right? So Discord, as you know, it started with gaming and now it's evolving more into a community setting. Hardoverse is more of a social app that is very focused on mental health. So it's same but different. Sure, I mean there may be some components that overlap, but ultimately Hardoverse is our home, and yeah, we need to carve out our own unique identity in the world. So that's basically my answer to your question, Seth. The next question is by Kazushi. He asks, what's been the most rewarding part of making Hardoverse? And well, honestly, the most rewarding part is seeing the community grow. I mean, I've started this in 2017 and it's grown to be so massive. Since we first started out at the beginning, which was just a web forum, and then we used Discord and Telegram. But now it's going places. I mean, we have an app now. We're working towards Android, and there's so much more in the pipeline that's going to come out. That it's going to be very, very exciting. But honestly, it's where we are currently. I would say more importantly, the rewarding part is being able to provide a safe space and a home for people all over the world from all walks of life and of many diverse backgrounds to find support, comfort, and heal. And we have received so many messages that Hardovers have saved the lives of these people, and they're very genuine, very heartfelt, and we received so many since 2017. And I guess that is the most rewarding part, is to know that we are doing something for people that feel lonely, feel affected by their mental health, feel that they can't go to anyone anyone in their life to talk to. They come to Hardover, and we provide that safe space for them to share their feelings. So that I think that's really very rewarding and something that keeps me motivated every single day to improve on Hardover as a whole. So yeah. Next question is, all right, keep the questions coming in the chat because I'm going to answer the questions in the chat. I just want to finish up the questions that were asked beforehand. So next question is by Sense20XYZ. He asked, what are your thoughts on Wario? So Wario, I would presume, is a character in Mario, but the evil boss or something. I mean, I'm not really big in Mario. I mean, I like Mario Kart and everything like that. Like, if I go to the arcade, that's where you see me playing, like Mario Kart. But I don't really have much thoughts on Wario. Like, he looks good. I mean, it seems like a cool character. I mean, he's yellow. He has that purple W on his head. So, well, I just think, yeah, it's a good character, even though it's an evil character. But, I mean, you always got to need the good and the bad, right? Okay, next question is by Hayden. No. I'm not a non-Wario fan. I don't know many of the Mario characters. I know Mario, I know Luigi, and that small little ghost thingy, and the princess. So yeah, I'm just not. I'm not. I don't know much about the Mario stories and stuff and the games. Okay, so do you like birds? Hayden asks. Yeah, for sure. I like birds. I have a pet bird myself. It's a very cute blue little budgie called Bluey. I love it to bits. But it also depends because I've encountered certain types of bird species where you don't want to mess with them, right? And the two that springs to mind is, number one is the magpies and the ibis. All right, so magpies are relentless and they will swoop down. Seriously, they'll swoop down and they will attack you and they'll peck at you. And it's really, really painful. And when I was back then, when I was a student, when I was cycling to uni, I was on my bicycle and you wear these helmets with like cable ties attached to it. So it's very sharp. So magpies don't swoop down and attack you because they will get hurt if they hit the cable ties. But that's why we wear the helmet. But that's basically in Australia. It look really weird, but it gets the job done. It's for our own safety. Magpies have cute humans. It's rare, but they have cute humans. Like, they have cute like kids and they have cute elderly. So you don't want to mess with magpies. The other bird is called ibis. They're the most annoying bird I've ever seen and met in my life. Because in an urban environment, they've become so dependent on humans to survive. And they will rummage through bins and trash bags. They will poke at it. And the worst is they will fly into cafes and eateries and places, and they will just take the food off your table. They'll take the food off your hand. Like, if you're having chips in your hand, they'll just swoop and get it out because they're so hungry. But they're annoying. They're like that sibling that always steals your food. So yeah. So that's a question by Hayden. Next question is by the Red Man. He asked whether I would choose bacon or what do you call it? Prosciutto. Yeah, prosciutto. I'll say bacon for sure. I'm not a big fan of raw food. I like it cooked. Even for beef, I'm not the biggest fan of medium rare. Like, I always get medium well or medium. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got a comment there that says magpies should be arrested, stealing and assault is a crime. Yeah, I mean, dude, magpies are crazy, man. Crazy. All right, next question is by Miko. Okay, Miko asked me, what is your favorite Starbucks order? Yeah, look, I don't go Starbucks often, but if I were to go to Starbucks, my favorite order most of the time would be matcha green tea frappuccino, no whipped cream and less sugar. But recently I've been getting chai a lot, like chai frappuccino, because I like chai tea. So I've been trying that out. But yeah, green tea frap for me. Next question is by Ducky. He asked me whether I would prefer ducks or geese. Straightforward, I would say ducks. The reason is they look cuter than me. Not cuter than me, they look cuter. Well, perhaps they look cuter than me, but um, yeah, I mean, ducks, I find ducks cuter. Like they have shorter necks and they're more compact and smaller and rounder. So I've been attacked by geese before, so I don't mess with them as well. So ducks, and I like it because ducks are mostly on the water, and geese, I think they're more on land compared to ducks. Certified narcissist in the chat says he's offended as an Indian because I said chai tea. Yeah, I know. I think chai is, yeah, I believe chai is from India. Yeah, chai leaves and all that kind of stuff. Uh, yeah, respect. Yeah, I respect. The chai tea from India. Did I say it wrong? Like, do Indians say chai differently over there? Please let me know. Daki also asked me another question, a follow-up question. How was your time in military? I'd like to know about it. It sounds pretty interesting. And are you still in the military? So, oh yeah, just say chai. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think that's cool. Just saying chai or choi in southern parts of India due to the accent. Yeah, back to the question, Ducky. I'm not in the military. I'm full time in Hardover. The Hardover is actually a startup as well. So it is an organization that we're running. It's not just Discord. There's so many parts of Hardover, like the app, the social media channels, the teams, both in Discord, in Telegram, as well as the app. So there's a lot of things to run. I was serving military conscription for 2 years, from 2017 to 2019. And yeah, I was defusing bombs in the army basically. So that's what I do. So because Singapore used to be under the Japanese, uh, as well as the British in different periods of time. And back in World War II, there was a lot of bombing and stuff. So they left a lot of these bombs like in the country. Like some of them are hidden underground. Some are, when it's being excavated or land is being renewed or used for different purposes, like building schools and buildings. Sometimes this construction um, people, they would uncover these old bombs, which may or may not still be live. It depends on what is the makeup of the bomb, whether the fuse is still active or not. And we got to assess it, we got to dispose of it, and basically that's basically what I do, right? Just to make sure the country is safe, make sure the people of the country, they can walk around the streets freely. There's no bombs lying around and they can explode out of nowhere. Yeah. What's my favorite poem? This is asked by our newest, or one of our newest moderator, his talk. Okay, so this is, I don't know whether you can classify it as a poem. It's basically a sentence, and I really like it. It's actually on my wall over here. So it says that eternity is in love with the creations of time. But I think the actual poem is eternity is in love with the productions of time. I saw this poem when I was reading a book recently. I think it's called the War of Art, if I'm not wrong, by Stephen Pressfield. So it's basically a book where they talk about resistance and just showing how resistance is preventing a lot of us from doing the things that we really want to do, like contemplating and being lazy and not actually putting the effort to go for our goals and fight for what we really want in life. So that's a really good book. But yeah, back to the question. This short little quote or poem, however you want to put it, is said by William Blake, which is an English poet back in the 1700s, where he said it. And I just thought it was really mysterious, and I really like it because I view a lot of things as art. Even Hardover is to me is an art, it's an creation. So it inspires me that creating Hardover is something that is part of eternity, right? And I want people and I want eternity to love what I create. And Hardover is that thing which I'm creating as we go along. So that's my favorite poem or quote. Yeah. Next question is by Abis. Abis asks, what's the best piece of advice you would give to someone that feels like their mental illness, for example, self-harm or eating disorder, etc., isn't bad enough or isn't valid? Honestly, the first thing I would say here is that I will never see it as not valid. The reason why I say this is because there's a huge spectrum between identifying a mental health experience to self-diagnosing to actually being diagnosed and requiring biomedical psychological intervention. So like seeing a doctor or seeing a therapist. The fact that you have already identified an issue, be it self-harm or eating disorder, is already something to look into, because I know that no matter how small you think it is still a mental health complication that affects the individual, or they wouldn't have even brought it up in the first place, right? Or even if they keep it to themselves, they have already identified it. So my best advice here is, firstly, to know that you're not the only one who is suffering from this, and that there are many people out there in the world going through the same struggles as you. So you're not alone in that regard. What I would do here is, if it was me, is to confide in someone that I trust, someone that I know that looks out for me, that cares for me wholeheartedly, whether it's a family member or a relative or a close friend, basically your support system, who is there that you can really trust and reach out to. That's the first person that I'll go to and talk to them about it. And then slowly, the next step would be to take slow, gradual steps into getting some form of professional support to see what is the extent of this mental health issue, because you never really know until you get it checked out. If it's mild, if it's serious, you're gonna need professionals to look into this and to support you in this overall, recovery or this overall mental health journey that you're on. Because a small thing can always fester if you leave it be, and there's a huge potential for it to become a much serious problem if we do not nip it in the bud from the very beginning. So that's my advice to Abis. Okay, next question is by Kiso. Kiso asks, how difficult was the journey of becoming an advocate and what made it so? How did you build a name for yourself in the advocacy world? And what advice do you have for others wanting to pursue advocacy of their own? All right, I never really thought much about this. This is a three-part question along the same lines. So the first question, I would say, how difficult was your journey of becoming an advocate? I would say that it's extremely difficult. I've never thought much about it, but all I know, it's been extremely difficult. I mean, I've been doing this since 2017, and it's not easy. But I guess what really helped was just believing. I believed in myself. I was confident, and I believed in what I was doing was going to help the world, and I still do, of course. It's never faltered. It's just this unwavering dedication that if you're doing something good, you know that people benefit from it, and you know that it is a problem that you're trying to solve in the world, then that is what keeps me going. And that is why I advocate for mental health. It's basically a passion, right? Like the next question you asked, how did you build a name for yourself in the advocacy world? I never really thought about that as well. I just kept doing what I thought I wanted to do. Like it was just basically based off passion. Like honestly, like I know what I wanted, the vision of what I wanted to create, which is a safe space, and there's much more to that. But I just worked towards it, and all these things, like I wouldn't say I'm like famous or anything like at this stage, but all these things just start falling into place. You just keep hitting objectives, you keep reaching new milestones, and you just keep going for it. Because I think there's a quote there's a mantra that I always stick by, is that whenever an opportunity arises, like grab it, because you never know if you're gonna get the same opportunity again. Because that opportunity, if you don't take it, you'll be gone forever. But if you keep taking it and you keep building up on it, it's like a chicken that keeps laying eggs, right? You just keep grabbing it, keep grabbing it, and new opportunities there's the momentum. New opportunities will follow from taking that initial opportunity. So you just got to keep going. And that's basically to answer your second question, how did you build a name for yourself? The third question you asked is, what advice do you have for others wanting to pursue advocacy of their own? I've already mentioned quite a bit, but what I would advise here is to just really know what you want to do. Like, what do you want to advocate for? Like, people in this day and age, they're very passionate about campaigns such as climate action, climate change. Some others would be racial equality, social justice. Others might be, carbon emissions, green fuels. So you just got to be very clear on what you want to do, and you got to stick with it. It's what excites you the most, what keeps you up at night, what keeps you thinking, what do you want to fight for, what you want to change. You just got to be very clear about it. For me, it's mental health. To others, it's something different. So you just got to stick with it. You just got to keep doing it. And another part that I would advise is you got to get a close group of people that are into the same similar thing that you want to advocate for. So if climate change, then you got to find climate change groups, or you got to pull in your friends that are really passionate about it and form a group and discuss, what can you do to solve this problem at the stage you're in, and then just continually build on it and see where it takes you. So that's my advice. This is the last question, not for today. The last question that was asked in one of in the AMA channels below. This is by Stormy. Stormy asked, what made you guys decide to create a safe environment for those with mental health struggles? This is honestly a very warm, welcoming environment, so I'm very curious about what went in to make it happen. First, thanks. Thanks for the testimonial. I think a lot of you write in our testimonial channels about how safe this server is. I mean, we're one of the biggest, we're like in the top 3 biggest mental health servers on Discord, and we are a Discord partner. So we're recognized by Discord as being one of the top 1% of all the communities in Discord, which is like 6 or 7 million plus. But what made us decide to create Hardover? This is a very open-ended question, and if I were to really answer it, it would probably take like a week or so. But I'll just give the straightforward answer. The simple answer is I created Hardover because when I was a teenager, I had mental health experiences. So I had severe anxiety, and this was exacerbated by my neurological condition called essential tremor. So this was an issue that I was grappling and battling back when I was in school as a teenager. And, I kept it to myself because, stigma is relentless and very pervasive in society. And I knew that if I were to be open about it, I would be discriminated, I would be pushed aside, cast aside as an anomaly of society. So one day I just mustered up all my courage to go and see a doctor, my childhood doctor, to get some help, right? To understand, what the heck is all this? What is this anxiety that I'm feeling? What is this essential tremor that is exacerbating my anxiety? And the long story short is the doctor invalidated my experiences. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, he said that I couldn't help you. I couldn't provide medication for you. I can't give you a referral to the state hospital. And the reason he gave was that my parents weren't with me, which I felt was ridiculous, because why would I disclose my anxiety to my parents or my mental health experiences to my parents? Like, as a teenager, you just don't think of that, to be honest. And so, because I was kind of invalidated and rejected that day, instead of, obviously I felt worse than when I entered the clinic. I felt worse when I left. But over the next few days, instead of letting it, pull me down, it ignited a fire in me, like a passion in mental health. And because I was thinking, how many people out there in the world have gone through the same thing as me, or even worse? Like, people have chronic depression, there's schizophrenia, there's bipolar. There's so many other, stuff that they're grappling with in their life. And how many of them have taken their lives? Like, how many people have, suicide? So I was thinking, hey, what can I do about this? I didn't want anyone to ever go through the same thing as me again. And basically, to answer your question, that's why I started Hardover and provided this safe space for everyone. All right, so that's the last question. Now I'm going to look at the questions that you guys have asked in the chat. I got to scroll all the way up. But first, I got to drink my banana smoothie. Like, I got a blender machine like a few weeks ago. recently, and oh my god, like this is the best. Banana with strawberry milk with acai berry. I just randomly put this ingredient together, and my god, it's the best. Okay, so the questions that have been asked in chat is, first question is, how are you? I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for asking. I hope you're good as well. Me is me said, I'm really glad that you did do all that you're passionate about. Hardover's platform helped me a lot. Hey, look, I'm really thankful for that comment, and I'm very happy that it's helped you a lot, because that only inspires me and gives me the energy to do more for the community. So thank you so much. Cod K says, keep up the good work. You're doing great. Thanks, mate. Certified Narcissist asked me, what's a favorite country to travel to for you? I like traveling, but I haven't traveled too much. But honestly, right now, I would say Australia, because it's a really nice place. The weather's good. The beaches are very nice, the sandy beach, and the waves are really nice, because I used to surf quite a bit. So Australia for me. Cod K asks, oh wait, no, I already went through that. Next question is, Coke or Pepsi or Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper? Look, I don't drink soft drinks. Like, I think I haven't drank Coke since I was a kid. Like, I know it's mind-boggling, but honestly, I haven't drank Coke since I was like 8 or 9. I'm not a big fan of Coke. But out of these 4 options, Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, or Dr. Pepper, I've never tried Dr. Pepper in my life. I don't even think they sell Dr. Pepper in my country. So I would say, oh, this is tough. I would say Mountain Dew. I really like Mountain Dew. This next question is, there are so many different things to worry about in a teenager's life. What do you think is the most important one? Oh my gosh. Yes, indeed. There's so many different things. Wow. I mean, it really depends, because everyone's situation in life is different, right? Some people will worry more about their family if their family situation is they're having a hard time with the family. They're not doing so well in the family circumstances. Some might be relationships, the boyfriend or girlfriend, they're fighting, and they don't know how to solve it, because you know being a teenager, usually you're not the most mature. I mean, given the age, right? So, and the other issues is, right, like studies and knowing where you want to go in, like, university, or what you want to study in. So actually, I would say I'm not going to streamline everything to one thing, but I would say in general, it's about knowing what you want to do in life. I think that's a very worrisome thing for teenagers, because it's like 9 out of 10 people that I know would always say, is the path I'm on the right path? But you never know, right? You never know unless you try. You never know unless you do it and then you like it. So I think that yeah, it's about knowing what you want to do in life. That's the hardest. Next question is, me said yes. They have 2 budgies too. Yeah, perfect. I mean, budgies comes in a lot of colors, right? Like yellow and blue and white. Yeah, I love budgies. All right. What's the next question? Kiso asked me, how many languages do I speak? I would love to say 3. But I think I'll go with 2 that I'm basically fluent or conversational in. I mean, English is my native language. Mandarin or Chinese is my second language, and I did take French as a third language when I was younger, but I'm just really trash at French, so don't speak to me in French. Next question is, what physical activity do you practice? Honestly, right now, it's just cardio. I literally have no time. But I know exercise is so important, so I do cardio. But back when I was younger, it's always going to the gym and swimming and playing football and surfing. But gym is a really big part. Like, I really enjoy going to the gym, so that's very important to me. Next question would be Blue says I look like a lifter. I don't think so. I mean, maybe last time, but now, man, I wish I could. I haven't gym in like a year or so, a year or two, because I got injured. Like injured my shoulders and I injured my ankle because of sports. Next question is um. Next question is: Are you from Singapore? I guess from the accent, so I might be wrong. Also from military, isn't it mandatory over there? Yeah, I'm from Singapore. I'm born and bred in Singapore, but I've lived in Australia for for like 3 to 4 years. My ethnicity is also not really the most Singaporean. Like I'm half Dutch, so Holland or Netherlands, and half Chinese. So I'm like Europe, a mix of European and a mix of Asian. So I'm just really mixed up. And yeah, military is mandatory for all males in Singapore. 2 years you gotta serve. It's basically the same like Israel, South Korea, Thailand, Taiwan. So yeah. Okay, what is the next question? Oh, there's a lot of chatting in here, so it's good. Okay, I'm trying to find. Let's see. Oh, by the way, it's what time is it? It's 3:40 a.m. in the morning here. By the way, I had to choose the time that is the best for everyone in the world. So I thought this was the best time because in Denmark it's like 11. I mean Europe, Germany, Denmark's like around 11 or 12, and in the US it's also around 3 p.m. or so. So I had to choose the best time for everyone. So yeah. Next question is, what have your absolute biggest struggles been in regards to being an advocate and building Hardover's? My biggest struggles would be, wow. Uh, I think one of it would be not having enough time in a day because I wish I had more time in a day because I basically work on Hardover 24/7. I'm just, my mind is just lazy, really focused on Hardover and just thinking how to improve Hardover and make it better for everyone. And other struggles would be, yes, time zone differences, and also probably getting the word about Hardover's out to as many countries or as many people out there as possible. And I think we've been doing a really good job. To me, slow and steady progress is always better than fast results, uh, because what it does is it creates a very enduring and a very valuable thing that people would want to participate in, or people that want to get engaged with in the long run. So yeah, those are some of my struggles that I would think. Um, oh, another big struggle before I move on is of course the trolls. I mean, all those trolls that come in the community, that come in the app, and they raid the servers and all that kind of stuff. So that's why safety and security is priority number one for me, and that's what we've always been working towards. Do it's the number one thing. I guarantee you that. And yeah, that's a struggle, man, because there's so many trolls out there. It can get pretty toxic on social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And so that's what we're trying to do differently as an app, and also as a community, because what we carry ourselves forward is a non-toxic social app. All right. So next question. Next question would be banana smoothie W. Yeah, man, it's the best. I love it. Okay. Hmm. People talking about ADHD in the chat. Okay, that's interesting. Um. Wow. Okay. Okay, Michael, I actually answered the question earlier. And actually, I'll just post a recap of this video on YouTube. So those people that did not have the chance to participate today or see this AMA can check out on Hardover's YouTube online. But yeah, we expect it to come out um, early next year for the Android app. Blue, I can't answer because it's very complicated when it comes to BPD. I'm not a psychiatrist, but what I would say is, if you really feel that way, you gotta engage a professional to get more insights into that. Yeah, that's a really tough one to discern and to really break down. So you really gotta seek some professional support. Hey, no worries, Michael and Blue. All right, yeah, I just gotta show you guys the artwork again. Look at it. Beautiful. All right, guys. I've got probably 5 more minutes, so just ask any questions that you want to ask. I'll try my best to answer the most relevant ones. All right. So Kiso asks, do you have any big plans for the future of Hardover's that you can talk about? Let me think. I think the most exciting update that's gonna come is that whatever you see on the app now, there's gonna be a redesign of it, and there's gonna be a lot of new features added. Like seriously, a lot. It's gonna look different, and the reason why is because we listen to our users. So the Frontier group, and as well as the users in the app, and as well as the users that are on Discord, we take in all the feedback seriously because we want to make the best app possible. Because the best at Hardover, the best idea is always win, and we want to build something that people want, something that the community wants, people that use our app, and we are always trying to improve ourselves and improve the app. So honestly, well, do you guys use tone indicators? Tone indicators are like the slash G, like genuine slash POS. Is it positive? Yeah, I think that's pretty big nowadays, and yeah, we're gonna do something about that in the app. Maybe that's one thing that I can let you guys in. But other than that, there's so much more that I'll let you guys in over time. I just want to. It's just really really exciting. I mean, there's so many things that's gonna come out out of this app. Like you have no idea. We're working so hard on it. Okay. Next question is, okay, Blue. You asked me how do I categorize SUDs? You mean substance use disorders, right? I think substance use disorders. I think will mostly fall under addictions. And to me, what addiction really means, to me, this is my personal view of it, is that what constitutes an addiction is when your daily life is affected. For example, alcohol, or for example, drugs. It becomes an addiction where you cannot do anything, like your life cannot progress as per normal, like school or work or anything, unless you get that fix of that substance. Like I need to get that drug no matter what. I need to break my piggy bank or steal money from my parents just to get that fix of drug. Like you can't live without it. You know what I mean? So I'll classify that as an addiction. Yeah, basically a dependency, like what you mentioned. Yeah. All right. Next question is, have you ever worked with autistic people since you worked in mental health, and how are we different from other patients? Oh no, yeah, I haven't answered this. Autistic people, I have, but like people with Asperger's, I wouldn't say work with them. I guess more of like friends and uh, interactions. So I can't really answer that question because I never really worked with them at mental health settings. But how do I see people with autism different from other patients? Um, well, I mean, if you put it like this, I mean, in a way, they are different, but not in a negative sense of the word. I think people with autism have done wonderful things for the world, and they're different in the positive sense of the word. Like a lot of I have friends who are autistic and they're really really smart and they can do really really good things. Sure, everyone else, they have their pros and their cons, their flaws and their imperfections and their strengths. For example, like one of my friend, he's really really he has Asperger's, but he's really good in math. He's really good in logical equations. He's really good in like programming. But he's bad at social interactions. Like he doesn't know what to do in social uh, situations. He doesn't recognize social cues, but that's okay. I mean, you can always improve on it if you try, if you put in the effort. But you just gotta know what you're good and what you're bad at, and just work on what you're bad at. And no one's perfect. Like really, like no one's perfect. So yeah, okay. What is the next question? Asperger's is an outdated term. What is the what do they call it now? Doctor Glucose. Tell me so that I can be more aware of it and maybe. Hey Michael, I'll take the suggestion in for sure. That's a really interesting and really really helpful suggestion. For anybody that wants to work as a part of the Hardover team, how would they go about doing so, and what options would be available? Wow, I mean, it depends on what you want to do for Hardovers, right? Because there's different tiers of Hardovers in terms of the work that you want to do in. Like as a startup, we have a core team where whatever a startup usually has, right? You have someone that works on coding, you have someone that works on the legal aspect, you have someone that works on the finances. That is the startup aspect of Hardovers. There's the community aspect of Hardover, which are the moderators that you see on the Discord servers, on our Discord server, on Telegram, and that is another aspect, right? They're keeping the community safe, and they're interacting and advocating for mental health on the server. And we also have another aspect, which I don't think you'll be uh, too into it, because that's basically an advisory panel where we have doctors, psychologists, where we get information from like the latest trends and developments in the mental health space, and to keep update with everything that's going on in mental health. So what options would be available? I would say probably go to the website and drop an email like what you really want to do. That's number one. Number two, if it's on the server, then there are more applications we can apply for. And we're currently accepting more applications. The last time that I checked with CAF, it's ongoing right now. So you can apply to be a mod um, right now. Yeah. Oh no, battery's running out. Okay, I got like 1 minute left. Um, okay, I think that's it. There's no more questions. My computer's gonna die at any moment.